He was saying, like, what chance does, like you said, what chance does the little guy have if they're going to go after the big guys like this?
I am hoping Alan Dershowitz, who had dinner with the president,
will replace
that night. Well, I don't. I would love to see that. I would love to see him be appointed the special prosecutor. Number one, he's a Democrat. But he believes in the rule of law. And this is so in the face of the Constitution. This is so in the face of everyday American rights. People, you better be thinking about this. Don't just brush it under the rug. And it seems like the media is kind of now hushing it up because they're like, we better not make too big a stink about it because people will realize how badly we're screwing the Constitution.
Even worse than that. What were they going after? I thought they were going after collusion stuff. Then it looks like they're going after Stormy Daniels stuff or whatever her name is. No, what they were going after was Access Hollywood tape stuff. That's what the claim is. I mean, Access Hollywood, the buddy what's-his-face on the bus comments that, what?
Yeah,
it's not even collusion stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the story here, right? So they go from Russian collusion, can't find anything over the last 18 months on Russian collusion. Now we're using the excuse of Stormy Daniels. Did Trump know whether Cohen gave the money to Stormy Daniels? And that's from a decade ago, right? And now here's the thing. So,
imagine if he'd let an ambassador in Benghazi die, Wow.
I agree. So Mueller, now it kicks in. Mueller is probing for a $150,000 donation to the Trump Foundation from a Ukrainian billionaire who gave $150,000, right? This same billionaire gave millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
How about you go after the Clintons, Mr. Mueller, you dirty scumbag? This guy, unless I'm out of my mind, this scumbag is killing the prestige of the office of the president at the behest of the deep state, the global elite, the Democrats, the liberal media, whoever he is working for. Whoever he's tied himself to. This man is going to rot in hell for the rest of his eternity, right, when he dies. At least I hope he does, because this SOB does not deserve to be working for the United States government and should not be spending our tax dollars. I think $8 million is the bill right now.
I don't know, but I can
It's probably more than that, but that's the last I heard, right? And going after, you know what? There is proof of the Clintons and their criminal activity, and yet nothing. Cricket. Zip. Zero.
Have you seen the movie Les Miserables? The play, the movie. You familiar with it all?
No, I'm familiar with it, but
then
I
the term Inspector Javert would probably have little meaning to you. But
correct.
Inspector Javert, in this very popular play, movie, Broadway, basically he is this prosecutor who just for years and years and years, like Captain Ahab and the White Whale, just will not give up going after this guy. And this is what I think of in terms of Mueller and Trump. It's just a vendetta. It's just there's whatever he can do to bring him down. It's nothing to do about justice.
And what? This Ukrainian steel magnate, Viktor Pinchuk, donated millions of dollars to the Bill and Hillary Clinton Foundation over the years. And yet you're worried about $150,000 that they gave to the Trump Foundation in 2015 before he even decided to run for president.
Well, that's collusion.
Hey, with Ukraine now? Oh, we couldn't do Russian collusion, so now it's Ukraine
half
collusion.
Of Ukraine is a Russian client. We know that. The line I've been dying to use all the show, the line I've been dying to use the whole show is, if there was collusion after Syria, do you think Putin wants his money back? Do you think he regrets getting Trump elected?
Yeah, yes. Let's be honest. If there was one person that Putin would have preferred to have in the Oval Office, it was a Clinton.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts. He'd have been smoking cigars and having hookers, probably down on Pedophile Island with Epstein, while Hillary was doing business and taking the quick call from Bill to do whatever that he just got asked, right? So it's just amazing to me. But why? Would somebody it's Trump keeps saying, I'm not going to fire him. He can't fire him. It's political. I don't know if it is political suicide. Frankly, I think the American people have had enough. They know what Jim Comey's about. Or not Jim Comey. Robert Mueller's about. They know that this is phony. They know this is Trump. And this is why I think in 2018, I'm not super worried about a blue wave. I really am not. No. I don't think we can take it for granted. I think each and every one of us needs to get out.
Work like crazy.
And work like crazy to get Republicans reelected, not only in the House, but also in the Senate. right, and get this squared away.
I think at this point, Trump is free and clear. I think the field is open for him to fire Rosenstein, fire Mueller, and he gets Sessions back.
Yeah.
If there's a bloodbath for him taking out Sessions, then he gets to keep Sessions, and Sessions a free man again.
Okay, let's move on to our last. Derek, I want to play track 2. Do you have that ready? Now, this is Burgess Owens, right? Former NFL superstar. And he fell on hard times after he retired from football and ended up being a chimney sweep, among other things, and has worked his way back into the good graces, right? So he gets called to go to a college, and he's been doing this across the country, talking. Well, he shows up at one place, and he's conservative, right? So big no-no. He's a black man. He's conservative. That's a big no-no to the left. They can't stand it. So all of a sudden the snowflakes and the libs show up in droves to try to shout him down at one of his presentations. Do you got that ready? All right, let's start with this, and we'll break in and stop as we go because there's a lot to cover here. It's a few minutes long, so let's try and get it in. Go ahead.
The United States is an imperialist nation.
Okay. Well,
Left.
I'm going to say this.
You said so many
It's
things
an
about
imperialist
respectability
nation.
politics. Respectable
That's
black
what we
men
need to read up on.
and women face systemic racism every day, face police brutality every day, face these issues every day. It doesn't matter who's respectable and who's not. People face the same thing.
We're gonna do this.
Also, being a football player, right? That is luck. You played a sport. You won the American lottery.
All right, stop right there.
Get
All
back
right,
to
number one, you're calling a superstar. You don't become an NFL superstar by winning the lottery. It takes, granted, your genes. You became a strong, fast person, right? There are some genes. I guess there's a little luck involved in that. But you don't become, there's a million strong, big guys in this country. You don't become the top guy in the NFL by the lottery, lady. That's all I'm going to say. That man worked hard to become an NFL superstar and probably risked all the brain injuries and everything else that football people go through. So it bothers me
And
that
she
you
got
would
brain injured all by herself.
snowflake, right?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. That's the first thing that bothered me. It's calling him a lottery winner. That's bull. Go ahead and play.
People face the same thing.
We're gonna do this.
Also, being a football player, right? That is luck. You played a sport. You won the American lottery, right?
So what
but
happened?
there are black people in this country. Not everyone is going to play a sport.
Okay, what about-
No, so those opportunities do not exist for everybody.
Okay, so here's the deal. What about my start as a chimney sweep?
But
Was that good luck?
You still play football. That is when you won a lottery, right?
No.
Other
7 years
black-
after the
other black
NFL,
kids
7 years after the
will not have those
NFL, I
opportunities.
failed. 7 years after the NFL, I failed. 7 years after the NFL,
No, we're not going to be able to get to
I was
this.
a
We're going to
chimney
pick this
sweep.
up next
Yeah.
week. We'll pick this up next week because it's very important what he talks about and how these snowflakes, college kids, this is what our colleges are turning out. It's a
Indoctrinated.
disgusting indoctrination what's happening to our children in college universities. All right, folks, until next week, go to thedailydrift.com.
It's the news you need to know.
There you go. We'll see you next week.